Hi guys, we're going to subtract like fractions again. This is lesson 9.4 and there, it's not so fuzzy. Okay, let's review what like fractions are. They have the same denominator, so quite simply you can have 3/8, 1/8, 2/8, and these are all like fractions. Another example can have a different denominator. We could say 1/11, 7/11, 6/11. You know what? At this point, you don't even need to write this down. This is a quick reminder that like fractions have the same denominator. Okay, let's memorize that definition. So we're going to subtract fractions that are like fractions. But this time, instead of making models, we are going to use number lines. So we have a problem here. We're going to go with subtract 7/10 minus 5/10. And all we have to do is label the number line. I always start with 0. My very last one would be 10/10, which is the same as 1 whole. Okay, here's what we do. We find our first fraction, 7/10, the greater fraction, and we are going to subtract 5/10 from that. One, 2, 3, 4, 5/10. And our answer is 2/10. That's where we landed. Okay. The book also shows that you can write 7/10 minus 5/10, and you can also write it as 7 minus 5/10. 7 minus 5 is 2. Okay. That shows that we did the math right. Okay, let's move on. Oh, I'm not done. Step 2, just like in the last lesson, simplify. Please write that word. These are the 2 steps. So we see that we have an even numerator and an even denominator. That's one way to look at it. We're going to subtract the greatest common factor. And the greatest common factor that these 2 numbers have is the number 2. Two divided by 2 equals 1. 10 divided by 2 equals 5. So the final answer that is simplified is 1/5. Okay, we're going to do some more. Step 1, we're going to subtract. And we're going to do, here I found one I like, 11/12 minus 5/12. Okay, and what we're practicing is making a number line. So here I go. 12ths, that's a lot. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I invite you to be filling this number line out at the same time I'm doing it. I'm sure you can see that the next number I'm going to write or fraction is 12, 4/12, 5/12, and keep on going until you get to 12/12, also called 1 whole. Okay, first step, we're going to plot where 11/12 is, and it is right there. Then we're going to do the math. We're going to subtract 5/12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we landed at 6/12. Okay, now showing it the new way that the book showed, you can see that 11 minus 5 equals 6, and your denominator is 12. So we're at 6/12. Okay, I hope some of you have memorized what benchmark fractions are. You should know what that equals. We're going to take the greatest common factor. Yes, they can both be divided by 2, but they can also be divided by 3. And the greatest common factor that these numbers have in common is 6. So 6 divided by 6 equals 1, and 12 divided by 6 equals 2. Some of you were able to see that 6/12 is a benchmark fraction, or actually is equal to the benchmark fraction 1/2. So in this step, I didn't write the word, we simplified. And we got our final answer. So that was example 2. And our first step was to subtract. Our second step was to simplify. All right, that's all there is to it. So you still have the option of making models and crossing out or removing the part that you're subtracting. But you can also make number lines and jump the number that you're supposed to subtract. And then the main thing that we're reviewing is that we want to always remember to simplify so that we ultimately get the right answer.